Welcome back to the Human Nexus podcast. My name is Andrew Brazis. I am a marketing professional and private chef.
Welcome back. My name is Miss Laura Machiste. I am an online tarot reader, holistic massage therapist, and energy coach. And today we are talking all things energy, intuition, auras, anything that we can really think of that could go with talking energy, which is actually really crazy that we're talking about this today specifically because I started going on walks in the morning
Mhm.
and I've been doing the Leo season daily marathon. And since Leo season started, they've been getting so many like move your body, move your energy, like exercise is connected to manifestation and like this and that and this. So I've been going on these walks in the morning and I eventually just got tired of the playlist that I was listening to. So I started to dive into like some audiobooks. So I started re-listening to Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. And all he does is talk about energy, your body's energy, your magnetic field's energy, what we talked about last time with the chakras and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So it's been pretty cool to move around my energy at the same time of receive in hearing information about energy. So I actually just listened to like an hour of this book before this.
That's
So
so
there's
good.
like, yeah, perfect information there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's
You're picking.
your, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. Ask your question.
Oh, what'd you say?
I was gonna say you're primed and ready to go.
Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. It's perfect. Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. So, in terms of like your interpretation of energy, obviously we've had a lot of conversations, so there are a
Mhm.
lot of things I probably have told you, but erasing that stuff, what did you or do you feel about like energy and intuition and like people's auras and stuff like that?
Man, I have so many thoughts. So for me, I mean, I think energy is kind of like everything. Like I think everything is energy, and I feel like I'm pretty attuned to it. So like if I walk into a room and there's people there that I don't know, I feel like I pick up on their energy pretty quickly, and I'm like, okay, that person's probably pretty chill. That person's we're not going to be a vibe, and I don't know how to explain it, but like I think through meditation and paying attention to my own energy and like knowing what that looks and feels like, I'm able to figure out what other people's energies are, or like being around people that I know and like, okay, you're safe, you're good based on how they feel. But I think it also really like it varies. Like we're all if we're all energy, we're also vibrating and like our frequencies can be off one day. Like yesterday, I was so agitated for no reason. And I haven't been like doing my meditation practice. I missed a couple of days this week. And I was like, damn, I need to get back to doing that because like I feel like my energies are like low, like vibrationally. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like that was like one of the first things that I tapped into because I have a lot of anxiety. So I
Mhm.
always was trying to figure out why or how that's a thing. And as a Pisces person, like ruled by the fish, we don't really have a barrier of anything. Like, for example, like you're a Leo, lions have fur. You can have that barrier of absorbing or not
Mhm.
absorbing a little bit better. I feel like all the zodiac signs have a little bit more of a protective barrier where I feel like unwillingly and sometimes unaware, I pick up on people and then all of a sudden I feel the way that they
Mm.
felt, but it's
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
So energy is really interesting to me in that department because I didn't realize that for a while that a lot of the times that you feel upset and I wouldn't even say just like Pisces people in general, more empathetic people or empaths,
Mhm.
like people and like you could be any zodiac sign and be an empath. But I'm just going with the I guess you could say animal or object or symbol that they gave to like I feel it and sometimes it is just ridiculous because I could be super happy, super feel good energy, and as somebody who does body work, I'm not only like in the person's biomagnetic field but I'm actually like touching them skin to
Mhm.
skin. And one of the things that we learned in massage school was that stress is contagious. So if I'm massaging a
So
super
true.
stressed, yeah, if I'm massaging a super stressed out person, automatically right then and there, just because of the touch connection, now I'm going to have to remove that stress from me. If I'm just
Hmm.
sitting across from them, it could still be a thing. It just might not be as intense to like actually touching them. It doesn't even mean that you have to like fully massage somebody. You can hug somebody, and then once you're done with that hug, you're like, "Ooh, like
Well,
that
and
felt
not
heavy."
even that. I mean, you had mentioned the biomechanic field, or biomagnetic field, sorry. Can you
Mhm.
explain to viewers what that is? Because I don't think a lot of people are aware that it even exists.
Yeah, so we all have a energy field around our body. It's basically like a circle or an oval or however you want to shape it in a way, but it's more circular oval or and it's your biomagnetic field and it is either amplified or it's destroyed. But when I say the word destroy, it's not like the full thing is destroyed. It's just that, so for example, when you are in a low vibration, your
Hmm.
biomagnetic field is not strong. It's
Hmm.
probably very lessened, it's probably not expanded that much. And it's going to be easier for you to attract in negative experiences that match what your vibration is on. And
Hmm.
that's not just because you are what you attract, it's because your biomagnetic field is not as strong because of
It's
that
like
vibration.
leaking. Like there's like
Mhm. Yeah,
holes, I
yeah,
guess,
yeah.
that can get it. Yeah.
No,
And it's
exactly. Like there's
also
holes.
like physical ailments, like pain, autoimmune diseases, like illnesses, sicknesses are like very common. So like if you get sick a lot, I mean, obviously your immune system's probably bad, but also your biomagnetic field could be a little shoddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what you said. The holes is a good
Hmm.
explanation of what it would be. And that happens a lot of the times too. Your most resentful people or your most angered or negative people are usually the ones that end up with some type of either disease or cancer or something like that. And it really is because of, yeah, the body's energy itself, but the
Hmm.
biomagnetic field is if you think of it as a shield, it makes a lot of
Hmm.
sense too. Like if there's holes in your shield and you're around a virus at CVS, that virus will probably get you. If your shield is stronger, maybe you ever get that feeling when you feel like you're about to get sick, but you don't
Hmm.
actually get sick. It's almost like your body spent the first or second day trying to fight it, opposed to you
Hmm.
actually feeling it, but you still do feel your body fighting it. You still feel a little lethargic or tired, but you don't actually have like the sore throat symptom or like the super runny nose yet. That's where I feel like the body and the biomagnetic field are working together in a way to shield you from getting more of it, but also stop it from getting worse. And it really is connected to your vibration. And in Joe Dispenza's Becoming Supernatural, he explained that in one of the chapters I just listened to. Somebody who had a similar story to me, lower back pain, sciatic nerve, all the way down to the foot, hated life, hated life, hated life. But once you get that antidote to the possibility to heal, it changes things in the brain.
Hmm.
But you have to, as the person or self in charge, look at it that way. Like a lot of people with closed belief systems, like stuff like that. Like when my dad had cancer 4 times, I wasn't really that surprised. Like, not that he was like a bad dude, but he was angry at certain points in times. He was very like judgmental at certain points in time. Maybe like not to me, but like I seen it in like his personality and stuff like that. Not big of, like the extraordinary energy of just mundane life. It was just kind of like it wasn't surprising because I knew where his belief system was.
Hmm.
And it was just kind of like, all right, if this is it, this is it. And it's like, okay, that's not the attitude to have
Yeah.
your second or third time getting cancer because now you're kind of just like welcoming it in, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. So The mind really like controls a lot of it. And like what we said in our previous episode with the seven chakras and how your chakras are connected to certain hormonal glands in your body that also take part in your biomagnetic field.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I saw you're about to sneeze.
Yeah. I've been doing this all week. It keeps coming in and going away. I'm
There
back.
you go. See, your body's like, nope.
Yeah.
So that's actually funny that I was just talking about my dad and that happened to you because my dad was one of those people that, like, if you saw that he was about to sneeze, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that thing when if someone tells you bless you before you actually sneeze and then you don't sneeze and that you kind of annoys you because you like wanted that release.
Right.
My dad hated, he's like, if you see me about to sneeze, let me sneeze. Do
Yeah,
not
let it
say
happen.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny that that just happened while I was talking
That's
about
so
him.
crazy. I
Yeah.
think too, like a lot of people don't realize like this, what is it?
Magnetic field. Yeah.
Yeah, so the biomagnetic field is tied into like the aura and like all that stuff is like we can see it. Like it's measurable to an extent. So this isn't like woo-woo. This stuff has been like studied and tested pretty a lot,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. When for you was the first time that you were like known of your energy field, I guess, like aware of it?
I would say when I would have anxiety and other people like didn't, I came to like that reflection of like, okay, what is in my energy that is in fight or flight or maybe distorted in the biomagnetic field that like these people they don't even thinking about it. That's not even like a thing for them and like their perception. Anxiety's been like a big thing for me and like a learning process to it because there's so many levels to it, but being anxious was definitely one of the things that taught me like there's a word I think it's called proprioception and it's the scientific term of where your body is in space. So
Hmm. Interesting.
you know when you're like doing workouts, say you're doing like a balancing workout at the gym, it's
Hmm.
going to be easy, but once you close your eyes it's over.
Yeah.
Like that's proprioception of like where your body is at in space.
Interesting.
So that's like one of the first things that happened to me. I was just kind of like, all right, I'm anxious in the same environment nobody else is anxious in. So that
Hmm.
must be there's something up with my energy. And I just I always thought my life was really weird in general. So like our signs or synchronicities or like knowing of things that were gonna happen. And that's when I started to like believe in like energy. And
Hmm.
there's like another quote, and it's like everybody you believe in Wi-Fi, you can't see Wi-Fi,
Hmm.
but you don't believe in energy. Like
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's when I started to realize okay, just because it's not visible to the human eye doesn't mean that it's not real, doesn't mean it cannot be felt and stuff like that. And that was probably the beginning parts of it, like having anxiety attacks and just trying to figure out how not to have them.
Mhm.
And I used to be more of a complainer back in the day. I used to complain about a lot of things. And then I saw like what things I would complain about, I would just get more of. And I'm like, okay, let me just put a different energy out there. So I
Yeah.
did a lot of trial and error with myself. So that's where I found myself more confident of being an energy worker because I wasn't only just like researching it and looking it up, like I actually had the evidential proof and what I was doing that helped or healed something and stuff like that. Like my brain healed my back. Like, yeah, I was going to the chiropractor and stuff like that, but that's not just all it was. My mentality healed my herniated discs, and all of it is energy and connected. And with the biomagnetic field, your seven chakras also have a life of their own as well. So you might be expansive up here, but your lower centers aren't,
Hmm.
and that could connect to certain things or certain feelings or whatever in
And
how you are perceived even.
I've had it explained to me that y- the seven chakras are like projectors for the field. And like those have the colors, so you like get your aura from those that are like most dominant,
Right.
is how I've learned to understand it. But I think something that we as society don't do is like we focus on our physical health, our like mental health or emotional health, and then like our spiritual health, we don't really watch in an energetic way. And
Mm.
I think once I started doing that, my life got better in the sense of like I was happier. I was like I didn't I won't say like cured my depression, but it like pulled me out of suicidality, which was crazy. I mean, it
Right.
pulled me out of addiction and like without taking care of it on all the different levels, I don't think I would have made it, to be honest. And so it's like you kind of have to take care of all the boxes, like mental,
Yeah.
physical, spiritual. You really should.
Yeah. And that's a good example too for a lot of the times when people are just like, well, if I have $1 million, like everything will be fine. My
Mm,
everything will be totally okay. And it's like, if that was the case, then people who were rich wouldn't have those suicidal moments. People that are rich
yeah.
wouldn't hate their lives or do this or do that, or maybe take lives of other people and stuff like that. So I definitely feel like it's almost like spiritual hygiene, where like we take
Yeah.
care of our physical hygiene. I mean,
Hmm.
hey, some people don't. So that means you're super, super down the rabbit hole. But spiritual hygiene is something that we don't learn. And unfortunately, we don't really like we learn about our body and our systems, but we learn about it from an anatomy level and a
Hmm.
science level opposed to a spiritual level. And like in Asian cultures, they do spiritual level first and then
Hmm.
they give you the science level of it. So I feel like that is super important for people to understand that we're being withheld this information on purpose, because the more we're sick, the more the pharmacy makes money. The more you're prescribed this or have to do that, the more you're going to be stuck. Figuring out how to heal it in your own energy and figuring out your energy is just something that we don't learn. And it's just insane to me now, after all the things that I do know, is it's being withheld for a reason. And it's a sad truth, but it's not necessarily something that can be controlled. So, what you could do is just figure out how to control your energy. So, for example, I do energy work for one of my clients. She's definitely somebody that I feel like has it in them to get there, but there's something in her analytical mind that is just, and she knows what it is, and she just won't. And like that's energy. Like your solar plexus is going to hold the confidence and the courage to say, all right, I know what it is and I want to release it. So she has like a lower center blockage where it's probably in her abdomen, because that's where the solar plexus is, in terms of, I'm spending this money, I'm going to energy work, I'm spending this money, I'm going to Reiki, I'm spending this money, I go to breath work. But the core thing that she knows needs to be healed is just totally not being attended to.
Hmm.
So, in my perception, she's wasting her time.
Yeah.
Whenever I see her on my schedule, I'm like, okay, like I'll do everything I can for you, but
Well, I
you're not
think,
doing the work.
yeah, and I think too, I mean, this happens in all things, but that's just a way, another way subconsciously, usually of like avoidance.
Right.
Like, you know what the problem is, almost always. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you just don't want to face the hard truth of dealing with it, whatever that is for you.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I've been there, probably am in a lot of ways, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like I think the big thing is energy is really important and
Yeah.
understanding how to work with it within yourself. Do you have any tips, tricks that you would like that you give to your clients maybe on like how to balance out your energy, how to like recognize it?
Well, my biggest thing is to face it. Like, you just have to be honest with yourself.
Mm.
Like, and if you're not, then it's going to be for no reason. So I
Yeah.
would say step one is to face it. And that's another thing too, is that like your energy, if you're empathetic or somebody like us who can like read people or like feel vibes out, your energy is going to tell on you first.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really important for people to understand that how you are perceived by others isn't always just them.
Mm.
Like certain times people give off vibrations and they don't even realize that they're doing it. And I would say step one is to just face it and to be honest. And it's probably a ugly truth. It's probably, yeah, it could be a bitch sometimes. And maybe You don't like being called that word, but you know you are it. Yeah,
Hmm.
you might be an a-hole sometimes, and you don't like when your girlfriend says it to you, but it's probably true, or something like that. There's definitely a really, it's almost like the dark night of the soul first. Like you have to figure out what your dark passenger is doing that is not only just self sabotaging your energy, but self sabotaging your life because you are your life. So I would definitely do a dark night of the soul process first and just kind of make friends with the dark passenger instead of being mad at it for being like that. You want to almost like figure out why it's like that. So let me do like anger issues because it's just going to be an easier metaphor. So if you're somebody that is like stuck in anger issues and there is a large indication that there's something that you're mad about that has to do with yourself, like you're mad at yourself for something
Hmm.
in whatever way, shape, or form. So I would definitely say like the hard truths first. Breath work is really good. There is cerebral spinal fluid. Like I don't even know if many people even know this either. Like our brains are floating in fluid. Like our brains are not just
They're not just
stable.
in there. Yeah, they're not just
Yes.
in there. Yeah.
Like that's why when you do cartwheels or somersaults, like when you're a kid, it's like, yeah, but when you're an adult and you're fully there, your
Hmm.
brain is floating in this cerebral spinal fluid, and you do a cartwheel, you go on the teacups and you're like out for the rest of the day. So things change in energy and in your body. And also, like I said, your brain is technically floating. And it's really important for you to bring the cerebral spinal fluid back up to the brain. So breath work is really important, but not breathing from the chest, breathing from the stomach. So a lot of the times when you do breath work, they tell you to put a hand on the chest and a hand on the stomach and try your best not to move the chest and only move the stomach in and out. And if you do that a couple of times and you get really good with those core muscles, you will shoot the energy up your spine. It's almost like getting a fake runner's high.
Interesting.
So breath work, I would say, is the easiest thing to do because everyone has a breath, you know. But if you could do energy work and go to somebody, that would be good. But be open. And like, that's like what I was just saying about that client. Like, if she was open with me of whatever it is, because whatever it is that she doesn't want to face, she'd probably speed through the journey.
Like
Go
to
ahead.
to add to that a little bit. I mean, I'm 33 now. That's so crazy to say, but I've been meditating and like working on energy internally since I've been like 13, 14. Like this is something that I've studied and practiced a long time. And I felt like I like kind of got stuck behind my own, I don't know, obstacles. And then when I started like really deep into like the mental health journey 5, 6 years ago and doing like inner child work, that like opened up a whole nother level for me. And it was like confronting the ugly truths and like the demons about my life and like sitting with that. And then I was like, that unlocked something spiritually for me, which prior to that, it was like they were completely separate. Like, and now I'm like, wow, I was such a fucking idiot. Like, I can't believe I thought that because if I would have started sooner, I would be so much farther down the road. So like doing the mental health things or like it's all like we said earlier, or you said earlier, it's all connected. Like you kind of want to do everything a little bit at once if you can. The
Right.
mental, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, like all of it.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Because if you focus on one thing, you'll get dormant in the others.
Hmm.
And then the others have to catch up with the one thing you've been doing. So say you're like, all
Hmm.
right, I'm going to take care of more of my physical body. And then you just go full speed ahead in that. And then you might even use it as a vice where it's like, all right, I'm feeling emotions. Let's go for a run so I don't feel them. And it's
Yeah.
like, all right, maybe your physical movement is better, but your emotional processing isn't. So there's definitely doing all at once in small steps. And a lot of the times, too, people think there's like a final destination to your healing or energy work. And there really isn't. Like, even when you're 85 years old and the new thing comes up, you're going to have to go through that. It just gets easier. It just,
Yeah.
you go back to neutral faster. So, in our energy, we're neutral or we're at ease or dis ease. So that
Hmm.
comes from being not at ease. And that's when you are susceptible to what we were talking about before, sickness and
Hmm.
illnesses. So what I tell my clients is as fast as you can get back to neutral. Because
Hmm.
when you're too high up and you're too happy about something, that doesn't last either.
Yeah.
When you're too upset about something, that also doesn't last. So I tell my clients to really find the neutral space in their energy and just figure out a way to go back to neutral as fast as possible. If you have to react, go ahead. I'd rather you react for 5 seconds than hold on to that anger for 2 months.
No, that's so true. And I've learned a lot about dopamine just because I've dealt with a lot of depression.
Mhm.
And it's like you have a baseline dopamine level and you get these spikes and then you'll go below baseline and you really just want to do everything you can to maintain baseline. And then
Yeah.
you can do things that raise your baseline. So you just naturally have higher dopamine. And I apply that to like everything else in my life. Like if it's anger or you're dealing with like, I don't know, grief or, whatever it is, like it kind of follows the same path, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I agree. But that's
Um,
definitely something that I feel like people either understand or don't understand.
mhm.
And because it's like, is it going to be a one time fix, my meditation? It's like, no, you have to be disciplined in the practice of consistency. And then things just get easier or better, or you just don't stay in the low vibe as long. And that's what I try to get people to understand is that there's no way you're never going to be sad ever again. Ever. There's
Yeah.
no way that's going to happen. But as you do energy work and as you evolve and learn, you're able to get yourself out of those moments quicker and with more ease and maybe even with more understanding and learning from it where you're like, okay, let me take this moment of sadness and figure out how I can alchemize the energy for my best case scenario.
And something to add there, I mean, talked about consistency. I learned, I'm going to paraphrase this, but from Simon Sinek, I don't know if you know who that is, but he's a huge public speaker. He talked about there's two games that people play. There's finite games and there's infinite games. And most people will play the finite game, which is like, yeah, I mean, you can apply this to anything, but it's like you get the 9 to 5 job and you work for retirement, or you're like doing a spiritual practice to reach enlightenment. And to you, it's like, okay, I have this goal. And the infinite game is like, there is no goal. The game never ends, and you're just doing it to do it, to sustain, to enjoy the experience. And when I learned that and started applying it to like all the facets of my life just like it just became easier because I'm not
Mm.
like chasing this dragon anymore, like lack of a better word. So hopefully someone hears that and they apply that because I think for me that phrase was like life changing and it really just helped me approach things, I don't know, more sustainably, I think.
I don't know why I'm like randomly keep thinking about my dad, but maybe he's here. He's like, no, girl, I got the wisdom for you
Hmm.
for this episode. But he really liked this poem and it was called If, like just
Hmm.
IF. And it was basically a poem about like what I explained a little bit before of that if you can understand that your wins don't last forever and your failures don't last forever, you will be way better off. Like, for example, on an energetic level, when
Hmm.
something is going on in the news, right? And everybody's paying attention to it, or maybe something is going on TV or celebrity, or this is this happening. Yeah, the energy of intensity is going to feel intense in that moment. But what happens in a couple weeks or months? People forget about it. And that's a big thing with like when people get embarrassed by stuff or when people overthink, oh, maybe I should have said something this way or maybe I should have said something that way. And it's kind of just like if you can realize that your best moments in life and your worst moments in life are just moments,
Hmm.
you'll be way better off because you don't live in either or. And when people hear that about a positive, they don't like it. But when they hear it about a negative, they're like, yes, good, let the moment pass. But it's the same thing about a positive. Like when my mom won what did she win? She won the slot machine tournament on the cruise. Her triumphant moment lasted that day.
Hmm.
There was a next slot machine tournament the next day. Girl, you are now forgotten about. you
Yeah.
know? So that's also another indication that I want to say to celebrate your good moments too, because you'll even slowly but surely they'll be removed from your mind. Like I bet you if I bring that up to my mom, she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember." But it was just a moment. And I feel like as humans, we get so stuck on things. We get so
Hmm.
stuck in the past, or we get a big head for the win. And it's just kind of like none of that matters. We're all just passing through these moments as same as we pass through our thoughts and our feelings. And using the energy to your advantage in learning about yourself is going to be really good. And there are so many videos you can watch. There's so many books you can read. You just have to look a little harder because it's not mainstream.
No, and it's all out there. And I'll add to what you said. I think celebrating the bad moments. I know this sounds counterproductive, but like every obstacle that I've had, I'm so thankful for. Maybe not in the moment. I mean, sometimes in the moment because I like see it now. But like if you celebrate both, they become like one and the same, and it doesn't make the bad stuff like so much worse than what it is. Just
Right.
personal experience. But
Hmm. No,
uh,
that's
next time we're doing Virgo season, Astro Talks part six,
maybe
seven.
6 or 7. Yeah. Yeah. And we'll see you all then. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. If you have any type of knowledge or information that you want to share about energy that you think will be helpful, or your story or experience, drop it in the comment section down below. And we'll see and talk to y'all soon. Bye.